Dennis Rodman, on the other hand, was another name that I threw out because I knew Josh really respected his game. I actually have to say, I believe Dennis Rodman wouldn't, I mean, with people being crazy the way they are today, he would be another one that would succeed only because only because of his hustling, not just his rebound.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you
And
put
that's
him on one of the teams that really hurt at rebounding, and his hustling is something that a lot of people don't really notice much anymore. But to see someone who did care, and Rodman also can score. That's the one thing people never really paid attention to is that if Rodman wanted to put up 10, 15, 20 points, the man could do it blindfolded because he knew the and understood the game just like that. And he just focused more on the rebounding and defensive and his hustle work that he really didn't have to do that. In his Detroit days, he was with Isaiah Thomas and understood that that was Isaiah and Joe's team at the time. And then when
and
they got
and
Mark,
and
Mark,
and Latimer, he came off the bench for them.
yep.
Um,
Um, when he went to the San Antonio Spurs, they still had David
Robinson.
Robinson as a monster still at the time. Um, he went to
Had
Dallas. That didn't work out. I'm not going to say big praise for that. It did not work out. Too many,
too
I
much
guess
going
you could
on.
say too many Chiefs at that place. So that's what led him to Dallas. And then he went
He
to
went.
LA for a little bit. That didn't work out because that was during the rebuilding phase, even before Shaq got there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yeah. And then when he landed in Chicago, that's when everything came together.
Now, of course, but LA was after Chicago because that's where he ended. That was pretty much the end of his career.
Hmm.
Because he wore number 73. I have that I do have one of the Laker jerseys of his.
Oh, Snapples.
I have a Chicago Bulls one still, and I have the Lakers one. Um, but yeah, if and because you were saying about his scoring, if you look back in his days with Detroit, he actually was he off the bench. He was averaging, I think, 15 to 17 points a game at one point. But then we'll go to Chicago. I believe, and I could be wrong. I think it was the second year that they went to the championship with him there. But one of the games versus Indiana, if I'm not mistaken, either at the end, I don't know, I can't remember if it was just the first quarter, if it was the first half. He was actually the leading scorer of the Chicago Bulls with like 20 something, with like 20 points. So it might have been just the period, but he was the leading scorer. And I remember people going to school the next day and people being like, "What got into Rodman? He don't score." I'm like, "Yeah, he does. He's just quiet about it. He doesn't. He only
Yep.
scores when he needs to." Jordan was having an off game. Pippen was having an off game, so he picked up the scoring. He did. He did his job because he was actually taking shots and everything. Like you don't see him take shots. All his points usually, especially when he was in Chicago, came off the rebounds, just tapping it back in,
Yep.
or quick layups on like the quick or a break or a quick pass. He was, but this game he was shooting, and I wish I remember exactly what game it was, but I believe it was versus the Pacers. I believe it was versus the Pacers, which would have been the finals that year, Eastern Finals, before they went to the NBA Finals. It would have been conference finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I'm going to have to say you're not mistaken because I actually agree with you on everything you're saying because um, he was just that underrated player that people just assumed did one thing, especially these young cats that don't understand the true game of basketball and think everything has to be a three.